Everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with Coach Caren all the way from Toronto, Canada. She's in the house and she is getting ready to lay it on us. We have a fabulous topic for you today. We hope you'll sit back. Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with Coach Caren all the way from Toronto, Canada. She's in the house and she is getting ready to lay it on us. We have a fabulous topic for you today. We hope you'll sit back and join in the conversation. How you doing this morning, Coach?
Good.
What is our topic today?
Today we're talking about temporary problems because that's what they are. They're so temporary, even when they weigh our shoulders down.
Okay. Temporary problems.
Yeah, everything's just so temporary that we really have to see that way when it's happening. Especially the things it's out of our control. We want to control it. So that's part of the problem that's happening. And we could, to a certain extent, if it's things that we can solve, but we should always go to the Father with it. But still, for the humans and the things that we can solve, we need to get in there and do it, right? So the first question is, why do we feel it's permanent? Like, what is that feeling of permanency? Because it's that permanency feeling that causes this eruption and there's no way to turn. Look at it because I'm other things, but I'm talking money in this sense here. Are you poor? Are you broke?
Good morning. I wasn't sure. I didn't get a thumbs up. And with mom,
I saw it.
With mom, I don't want to assume that something hasn't happened. I was like, okay, let me go ahead and start something because I'm not sure if something's going
I am
on
sorry
over there.
The internet just went away. I don't know.
But your internet?
Yes, it just disappeared on me. Just sitting there. I'm like, what?
Well, girl, you know what? We are live and we are kicking. So I'm just going to move you over here into the place of authority. And I was about to tell our audience we're running an encore, but we're not, guys. Coach Karen's internet is back up and we are here. So welcome.
I don't know what that was. It just kicked me out.
Wow. Well, welcome. Let's get started, Coach. What you got for us today?
And today we're talking about insecurity.
That's the beauty of being live, right?
We're talking about insecurities we're talking about insecurity about money. Since last week we spoke on how the problem is just temporarily. I decided that this week let's talk about the insecurity of that. Let's talk about the insecurity of. Okay, where did we go? What is going
I'm here
today? All right, no, mine. I just got my screen just went away and come back.
Okay,
I can't explain this nonsense. So let's do this. Yeah. So today we're talking about the insecurity around money, about money, just how it shows up. It's part of why we think the problem is so big, and it's not temporary because we're feeling some type of way. As we talk a lot about the Emotions behind money, I think, is just one of the biggest thing that causes so much of the money problem. How we feel, how we operate, what we do, that sort of thing. So
Mm.
today we're talking about that, and we're gonna look at what it is about money that makes us so anxious. You know
Oh,
what it is, and what
wow. This is a good topic.
and what causes the self doubt.
Hold on a moment. Hold on. My phone decided to start talking. I don't know.
It's one of those days, girl.
It is a real, what do you call it? Interactive day with these devices.
I got party
I've never had that happen before.
right? I was like,
When my phone just started playing a video on the other side of the room, unless I ask it to.
right,
Okay, this must be a really important topic.
girl, because it's pushing, it's telling me I have no internet while everybody else in the house have internet, but I don't have internet.
How bizarre.
Oh, I tell ya.
Okay, well, let me just turn this off, put everything on do not disturb just in case. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So let's do this. Let's do this. What causes self doubt? And then number three, we're gonna look at, does insecurity feels like a danger to most? Does it
Ah,
feel like we're in a danger zone? Like, that's that panic. I'll tell you what, because I never really had experience lost a job before, I'd never know what a feeling was like. And I would
mm,
see people panic, and I realized was that money, that paycheck that they were used to receiving, they know in 2 weeks, if they lost a job or leave a job, they're not going to have that money in 2 weeks.
mm-hmm.
And even if they have savings, excuse me, for the people who save, they know it's going to go down if there's nothing in the works. It's really like opening the gates, allowing the water to flood in, and don't know what's going to happen. That trust and faith that is needed really get tested. And
Wow.
you really get to see, do I believe what I keep saying or preaching or telling myself? Like, how am I going to do this? So let's get right back to it, to the anxiousness. I'd watched a couple ones who they both lost their jobs and they
Mm-hmm.
told nobody about it. They decided they're not going to tell any family, any friends, their kids, nobody about it. They was going to sit with it and just decide what's next. And they had a vacation planned. And so they asked each other, should we go or should we, change it?
Mm-hmm.
And they went away and they come back and they decide they're going to go on the vacation anyhow. They're not going to change it. They're going to stay with it. And so later on, when the short story long, when the family member found out, they were like, why would you do such a thing? What's a stupid thing? Whatever. And she said, the wife said, we're still alive. We're still here in our homes. Had we told you guys, somebody was going to talk us out of the idea. But they went on vacation. They start planning what's next. And they list all the things down. And that's how you take away the anxiety that I just talked about. You say, okay, would I be able to live in this house for the next 6 months? And if the answer is yes, what would I have to do to be able to do it?
Okay.
So now you're in question mode and you're looking for answers versus sitting in the anxiety and you're not feeling anxious. When you sit and feel anxious, you don't solve any problems. You just can't. You just spin your wheels. You just spin your wheels. So it makes us anxious because we are not doing the work that feels. That type of work is the worst kind of work to do, by the way, because every fiber in your being makes you feel like you can't do it. I'm going to
Mm.
repeat. When you're in anxious mood, every fiber in your being makes you feel that you can't do the work that you must do, that you're supposed to do.
Wow.
That's what a feeling is for, but we don't use it for what it's for. We use it in a fearmonger situation versus what it's for. So if you're at customs and you're a person when you're going through customs, you're nervous and you're feeling really nervous about customs, and all you're thinking about what they're going to ask me instead of well, I'm going to see my relatives. I'm going to have a good time. I can't
Mhm.
wait to get there. Or I don't know what I'm going to get to, but it's going to be fun when I get there. So that's a different feeling versus this anxious feeling because
Mhm.
custom officers see it, read it, and they take it to whatever is happening with them also. And then they question you to death and they want to know a lot of things, but it's because you have sent it forth.
Mm.
And most time people do not realize this. And remember when I first started traveling and I would just talk to them because to me they're regular people. And my friend said to me, you can't chat up the officer. I'm like, why? He's just looking. I mean, we can talk while he's doing what he's doing. You can either tell me I don't like you to talk to me or you can answer my questions. And
Mhm.
usually they're very polite and they answer your questions because
Hmm.
I'm not sending forth anything. I'm just asking, how was your day? Like, what's going on with your life today? Girl, this job, I love it, but I've got my times. And that's the conversation. Like nothing big is happening.
Yes.
I'm relaxed around them. I don't expect anything bad to happen because I'm not doing anything that is not what I'm not supposed to do. And this is just like an example of where a lot of anxiety come about. So let's talk about money. When you
Mm.
don't have any money in your pocket, you hear people say this all the time, and it's not counterproductive, but it's so true. If you sit with yourself trying to figure out what's my next step, what it's going to take, how I'm going to get it done, and don't expect the answers right away. It can come, but don't expect it right away. Allow it to just develop itself. And it's going to come to you. And then once it come to you, okay, so what's the next step? Like ask you, like, and don't just say what's the next step. Like, Caren, what's the next step, girl? Like have the conversation with yourself. Like call out your name and have you be accountable in finding the next step. And then write the next step down.
Mm.
Little by little, that anxiousness will evaporate. Now, it might return depending on who you are, but the more you do it, the less it returns
Mm.
and the less
Okay.
anxious you feel. And then you have a library to go back to understand why you feel anxious. You got
Okay.
resources to get back to.
What's causing? Yes. Mm.
And you don't need anybody to tell you that you shouldn't feel anxious for this and that. No, 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 because you get more anxious. You need to figure this out. You need to figure out what story the money is telling you about you, how you handle it, how you behave around it. And this is not so you can beat yourself up either, guys. This is just for clarity, for understanding, so that you can do better next time
Mhm.
and right where you are. Okay. So you got to find that out. That's going to help you insecurities about money. The next question
Okay.
is, and I'm going to let Terry chime in here before I get to the next section while I drink a glass of
Okay.
water.
I just never thought about it that way. That the reason we feel insecure around money is because we haven't analyzed what is making us feel this way, or in other words, thought about it and taken notice. Oh my goodness.
And sometimes people don't realize that even people with money feels the same way. Sometimes people think, well, because I'm broke. No. If you're anxious around money and you haven't inquire and figure out, you're going to be anxious. So let's say your cutoff was $10,000. Anything above 10,000, you panic and you freak out, even if you have money.
Mhm.
If it's 100,000, you do the same thing. If it's a million, you do the very same thing, even if you have $1 million, because your threshold is $1 million. And so anything above that freaks you out. Every time somebody says to me, I don't like big numbers, or I'm afraid of big numbers, or big
Mhm.
numbers scares me, I know what they're saying. They're saying I get anxious. Anything above this specific level, it scares me. I don't want to go above that. I don't want to step over that line.
Mhm.
Either because I'm afraid I'm going to lose it all, or I'm afraid of what's going to happen once I do. And so those questions help them understand that they could once they analyze what is causing the anxiety.
Wow.
Get you there. So
Whew.
let's breathe that one out.
Yes.
Breathe
Oh
that
my
one out.
goodness. I don't think we ever think about this.
This is
as
why I
to
love talking about
why,
money stories, though.
as a reason why we're in different situations.
Mhm. You know, that's also the reason why a lot of people, they might not even realize it, that they don't ask for a raise. They don't ask for more money.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are afraid to get more money. And when I say that, people are like, no, I want more money. Some people are afraid to get more money. Some people are afraid to have more money.
Oh my goodness. I just never thought. Afraid to have more money.
Mhm.
Wow.
Responsibility. More money is more responsibility.
That's true. I feel you as much is required.
Yeah, exactly. And it has its own, ins and out. And that leads us right into self-doubt. Like, what causes self-doubt? What causes you to doubt yourself
Mm.
consistently? A part of that insecurity that
Good
causes you
morning,
to
Dr.
doubt yourself.
Tachi. Mm-hmm.
Hi, Doc. What causes you? What causes you to act out? And the people who ask you 1,000 times, "How do I look today?" And you reassure them, like they need constant reassurance.
Mm.
It's this.
Mm-hmm.
It's the foundation of self that is lacking. The self examination that is needed that most people do not want to do because it is raw, it gets rough,
Mm-hmm.
and you answer questions that is sometimes you can't answer it right away. And I always tell people, don't be worried about answering the questions right away. Give yourself the time, but be active in finding out. So just don't leave it for the whole year and say, well, whenever the answer comes. Be active, be intentional in finding out. Why do I doubt myself so often? Why do I doubt myself so often? Why am I'm not confident in the color that I pick? Why do I need outside influence to say yes, this is gonna go right, this is gonna look good? Like what is causing this problem? And then find a couple of questions and just go in and set the intent. In 30 days, I need to find this thing out. Behave like if it's an assignment that your teacher or professor had given you and it's due in 2 weeks or in 30 days, and get to it while you're going about your day. Find out what is happening, because if you don't, it comes back over and over in different shapes and form. Get yourself there.
Mm.
Find out what's going on, and then use ways to help boost it. You know, start finding little things to feel confident about, and start celebrating those confident moments in your life.
That's interesting. I think so many of us doubt ourselves unless we're in our comfort zone. A lot of
Mhm,
people are comfortable when they're in school,
mhm,
or comfortable when they are working a lower level job than they,
mhm.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's not demanding on their gifts, the true gifts and talents.
exactly,
Because
exactly.
I got this. This is,
Mhm,
you know what I mean?
mhm.
So and I don't know why we do it. So we take a lower paying job. Like you said, we don't ask for more money because we know with that comes greater responsibility.
And that transcends right over into when you have a business. There's a gentleman on TikTok that sells his bags. I think his bags start at 300 and something. Anyway, $800, what have you. And there's people who says, and then there's the people who say, only 800? Wow, I'm getting that bag today. He only drops like three, anywhere from three to about a dozen. He doesn't do a lot. And it takes him time. He shows you how long it takes to sew the bags, and he shows you all the stuff. And I remember him when I first went on TikTok. And I remember those bags. He was charging $200. His most expensive bag was $325. He was building his confidence up. And this is what you have to understand. That's why I said, no problem. It's temporary, because he realized that $300 made no sense for the bag and the quality and the time that was taken to make these gorgeous jeans bags. And over time, as his confidence grow, as he started doubting himself and his skill, because he was self-taught and he didn't went to a big name school and he didn't learn design through everybody else and what have you. And we all keep telling him, once you get the sewing down, because a lot of designers can't sew. So what's the problem with that? Is not because it is either, but what's the problem with that? You don't understand how certain things fit on a body or how it should be, because you don't understand construction. And so you pass it on. You want to know why the sewer, whoever can't, is sending it back to you and saying, fix this and fix that. But if you're new to sew, even if you don't sew continuously, you understand what works and what doesn't work. I mean, you're going to still try things, but you'll be at a different, level and of understanding, and things will move faster. And things will go through and move quicker. Somebody might have a design, but they're like, nobody can do this for me. Well, that's because there's a lot of intricate stuff that you can't explain to the sewer because you yourself do not know. So you need to go take a class and figure out some things to come back and have a conversation. When you don't have certain conversations, you can't get to the other place. This is just facts. People don't like to hear it. You don't know how to ask the right questions. And so you can't get the answer you're looking for, because you're not asking the right questions, and maybe not to the right person either. So you're like in limbo, asking somebody who can't help you. They're not the right people, but you don't know this because you want them to do it, right? And so that we take that over to business. If we were at a low paying job, we also is going to price our product or services very low. And we're going to explain to people why we're low and why people might charge more, and you're going to give them more benefit. That's what you're going to say to them. I'm going to give you more benefit that she that charged $10,000. Like, I'm better at $2,000 or $3,000. I remember I had a girl used to be on Facebook say, I don't know why they're charging so much, but I charge $197 to coach people for 3 months. And, that's all it should be. And in my head, it was like, okay. So I did ask her some questions, and she just fall off. She fall off the chat because she couldn't answer them. You're going to get $97. She's going to give you whatever she pick up from Google or wherever and hand it to you. Coaching is way more than just giving stuff. Coaching is pulling things out of people that they don't know that's inside of them.
Oh.
It's getting them to see themselves a couple steps ahead. Every time you meet, you want to get them going further ahead. You're pushing them forward. It's very uncomfortable. So some people will hide. They wouldn't do the work. It's not because they can't do the work. Then we have to get in there to dig to find out why they're not doing the work, not the stuff they told us, why they're truly not doing the work.
What do you say? Not the stuff they told us.
No. That's the
real part of the matter. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Why they're not doing the work, why they're jumping and doing something else, why they're finding new avenues, why they're hiding. What is causing them to hide? Where are you going? Why are you doing this? I met a woman who was selling sex toys at a party. And I said, we talked about a few things. And I said to her, why you're hiding? She said, I'm not hiding. I said, you are. I know you're telling us this is where you want and you're liberated, but you're embarrassed to sell this product you're selling. But you think this is what you need to sell because it's going to bring you a lot of money because this is what people want. But that's not what you want to do. At the moment, you think this is what you have to do. I never seen anybody scoot out of a party so quickly. We did get to the bottom. We talked about a little bit of why she was there and what was happening with her, but I didn't give her my card. She never called me. I know she wouldn't because I know she was just terribly embarrassed.
Wow.
Not because she shouldn't sell it if she wanted to. I personally wouldn't do it, but it's because this is where she thinks she'd make the most money quickly.
Gotcha.
But she's not going to make a lot of money quickly. It's going to happen, but then it's going to fall off because that's not where she needs to be. And so it's going to fall off.
Wow.
And that's what happened to a lot of people's businesses, right? They fall off because that's not where their heart is. It's just so, and nothing's wrong with it if it's an immediate cost that is needed. I want people to understand. I understand finances and you need something right away. You need to do that thing. But with the understanding that that's the temporary thing while you're working almost in secrecy into the thing that you're creating until you're ready to bring it to the limelight, until you're ready to get it tested out. That's the thing that you really want to do. That's the thing you're creating. Other thing I wanted to talk about, when this other couple too had win the lottery right here in Canada and they didn't tell anybody about it. And because they were afraid to tell people and not give away as people would expect them to do. And they took a year to tell anybody. And the results they were afraid of, that was the results they got. People were really upset with them. Not and she keeps saying, it's my money. Why are you upset with me? But they were upset with them because they didn't tell them.
Well, the thing is, and see, I concur with her. It's their money, and they can choose to share. It's sort of like sharing what's in your bank account.
Thank you very much.
It's personal, and if you're upset because you don't know what's in my bank account,
Too bad.
Then maybe it's time for us to, part ways or get some boundaries about what the conversations are going to be about.
Get some distance going and get some distance happening. And last but not least, does insecurity feels like the danger zone? Does it make you feel like you're in danger? Is your heart palpitating or sweating? Are you, waking up in the middle of the night? Are you, back to that anxiousness? What's happening with your money? And are you trying to scramble and get any job you can get to fill the hole? Most people are miserable in their jobs because they just get a job that's going to pay them their bills.
Mm-hmm.
They get a job enough to pay their bills. And they spend a lot of time condemning people who move from job to job, who is seeking and finding. But sometimes you don't know what kind of job you want, and that's okay. You take the job and then you look for the rest of the job. And sometimes you start a business, but that's not a business for you. And it's okay to leave the business and go to a new business. Do not let anybody tell you that you're jumping ship. If you feel in your bones that business is not for you, if it's time to go, go. Plan, take action, move forward. And my first thing I say is pray about it. Pray over it. Pray about it. Pray for your movements. Listen a lot to the guidance that you're getting once you pray about it. And then move. Do not wait for permission from anybody. You really have to run your life not waiting for somebody to give you permission. It is granted to you. It's been inside of you. What you're praying over is for the guidance and making the right steps. God has done giving it to you. So you need to go do it. Okay?
Oh, that is so wise. Yes. Mm-hmm. You don't need permission from the general public.
Mm-mm.
You've already been given permission, and you just need to listen and make a move.
And make a move. I had a coach once, and he said, people always complain. Like, I've got a house. He was my a coach in housing and stuff like that, real estate. And he says, you might have a house on rental and it's only bringing you $50 or $150. And somebody might say to you, that's not a lot of money. Why bother half the house? Don't get into explaining to them what you can do with that asset. Don't. Because if they ask you that question, if they're saying that to you, they're not asking you a question. They've decided. So do not explain. Now, if somebody come and say to you, and you have the conversation, and you say, I'm making $100 or $50 in the house. They're like, so how would that work? That person wants to know. That's the person you'll be talking with, not the person who came and just say to you, whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole different conversation. And in business, we really need to see that. Like, if a business owner or another person say to you, why are you doing this business? And is very condescending and having you feel as though you're doing the wrong thing, it's a different story than if they're asking you about your business and where it lies.
Mm-hmm.
How alive is your business? Is it profitable? If it's not, when do you think it'll be profitable? How long you intend to stick around? How could I help you? In what department you think you need help? Because even if I can't help you, I might know somebody who can help you. They're helpful. And that's what you want.
Wow. So they may not be asking the right questions, and that should determine whether or not we want to engage
Mm-hmm.
in the conversation.
Because you might find yourself beating yourself down, and you're done was in this danger zone. You're done feeling insecure about your feelings and the business because you're nervous and you're a new business owner, and it just take a few things being said to you when you're vulnerable for you to just say, well, this wouldn't work, and maybe it will work because let's say all you're doing is selling three things every month and it's not making enough money. Maybe you just need to meet more people to sell three more. Maybe you need to be more active in a certain area, and that would be the person you'd want to be cheering you on versus the person's like, well, you only sell three, you should close shop. And it could be just so many variables inside of there that is causing you to just sell three. Just getting new ideas, just reading a book, going on YouTube, looking for a mentor, that sort of thing is better off than somebody who is not in business and telling you what to do, who don't understand your market and telling you what to do. They're not very helpful. And it's not sometimes because they don't want to be helpful to you, it's just that they don't know. So they can't be helpful to you because this is not their expertise, right? This is not an area of expertise. And this is important for you because business is money. As we say, it's good to make money in your business. It's you just have to have the right expertise. And if you're in danger, if you're feeling anxious, if you have a lot of self-doubt, it's really hard to run a business and make money in there if those things are plaguing you to no end. Because you can be as great and productive as you are. And you are an expert in whatever it is you decide to do. I mean, you have to be. And if sales and marketing is not your expertise, you need to get in there fast because that's what's going to bring you the money. And so you can't be afraid of the money.
Yes. Or if it's something that you really don't want to do, you need to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only way business is going to succeed.
Yeah. You can't be in business if you can't do that. You either have to hire somebody to do it, and as much as people like to say, just hire it out. If you don't know what you're hiring out, you further in than if you didn't do anything. You just further in than if you didn't do anything. You have to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have a lot of realtors in an office, and there's a bunch of realtors that's doing well, and a bunch that is just not. And I knew somebody who worked at a front desk, and she says, I always say to myself, why? And one day she said, I asked one of the realtors who did very well, like, not to say anything bad, but I just want to know why so-and-so is having a hard time. And they said, oh, they sit at a desk all day and think they're going to get a house to sell, or no, you got to move. You have to come into your desk, see what needs to be done, and then you got to get out there and meet people and talk to them anywhere and everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things realtors do is buy a list. A lot of them buy lists. It's common. Okay. And they spend an hour, 2 hours just calling people up. Now, if you have no money, you need to make the calls. When you make enough money, you pay to have the calls made.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to be successful, realtors do a lot of marketing before they get houses. Are you going to be referred? Yes. Are you going to saddle with referral? Yes. But before that happens, you have to be actively pursuing homes to be sold by you, and people to buy from you, so that you can split that commission and have people want to list with you so that you can get a full commission. Because realtors pay a lot of fees.
Yes, they do. A lot of fees.
Yeah.
Recertifications and
the brokerage fees and this fee and that fee. And again, what do you do, Terry? You got to sit down and know where all these fees, how much it's going to cost you. And so you can know how much it takes to carry yourself. I knew quite a few good realtors, and those people have money the year before to run out for the year that's coming. That's the thing of a realtor. That's what I learned, and I've talked to people about it. Said, you need to know, especially the first 2 or 3 years, your job is about making enough money to sustain yourself for a full year. And while that's happening, that's you're using your other resources to keep bringing in business and getting better and getting your broker's license so you can have your own brokerage and all these growth things, right? Along the way. I tell people I coach, but I always investigate and research other things that I'm interested in. So when I get a coaching client who is struggling in an area, I can quickly pull up my resources and have them, ready to go. And if they're doing the work, they'll see the results. And if they're feeling self-doubt, we work on that. If they're feeling anxious, we work on that. And digging deep causes people to dislike me in the spur of the moment. And I'm okay with it. I just want to make sure they go away and get the work done.
Yes.
So.
Oh my goodness. We have a comment over here. Let's see. Alfredo says people to buy. Yes, getting people to buy is important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you have to meet people so that you have somebody to buy your product.
Buy. And people always want to buy because
Mm-hmm.
when they don't buy from you, they'll buy from somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
They'll find somewhere else to buy. When people want to spend money, they spend money. That's just the way it is.
That's so true. That is so,
yes,
they're just going to do what they do. People do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Woo, well.
Did I stalk you? I stalk it out. I stalk it, Terry.
Yeah. We teach a smart money management class, and we were talking about the 8 things that will block your abundance.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you touched on several of them here, talking about, not a lack of confidence and like the lottery winners. They were afraid that people wouldn't love them if they found out that they had money and they weren't willing to give it to them.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, okay, let's just not tell anybody.
Yeah.
And also, there's a lot of insecurities, and I'm wondering, Coach, when I started my business, I didn't tell anybody in the family until I had started making a number of sales.
Right.
So that I felt that, okay, this is a sustainable business. Why did I do that?
you were afraid of being condemned, afraid of not making it, afraid of not working out. And this part people don't like to say, but looking like a fool. People are afraid to look like a fool.
Yeah.
And it's not, most people, it's not looking down on you. They'll be like, at least she tried, I wanted to try this, but I didn't try. There's always going to be people who is like that, what we talked about, but there's always the people who's like, and might not say anything to you, but in their heart is like, I wish I had the gut to try. I wish I had the confidence to try. And you try and make them feel that they can do something. You never know how many people you've inspired, Terry, along the way. You might never know how many people you have inspired along the way by you doing what you had done.
Isn't that interesting? I just find it interesting about this insecurity around money. I think this was an excellent topic, Coach. And it was so engaging. I forgot to put up some banners, like your name, who's talking, you know what I'm saying? But, you can find Coach Caren on Profits in Daily with Coach Caren Fern. She's on Instagram, she's on Facebook. You need to call her and book an appointment because you need to have some conversations. I found out quite a bit about myself just from today. So if you're looking to book an appointment, there you are. Go to her Calendly and get her done.
Let's get to chatting. Let's get the business audited. Let's audit you, see what needs self-correction, see where you can push you out further, what areas you need to be working on. Sometimes we're working in the area that doesn't need work, it's ready to go. And we're just procrastinating there because we don't want to go face the beautiful things in the other areas. Not far, there's a lot of beautiful things happening.
And then this link that you shared with us is for your course. Coach Caren has a course. You want to tell us a little bit about the course, Caren?
That course is just, that course is setting you up. This is like a prerequisite, If you haven't started a business yet, this course will just help you to get yourself organized in that department or get self-organized. This course is twofold. You can organize yourself and organize your business. Some people call it a vision board. I call it a vision board of possibilities. It's just all the things that you want to see happen to you. And I go way forward in there. I talk about desires. I have four modules that just taking through a gamut of not only just putting pictures up or just putting things on the wall, but more so understanding the message behind them. What do you want to see? What's happening to you? Where your blockage are? All those things I talk about in that course. And it's a quick little course, but it's packed with stuff inside of it. It's just $40, but it really make you get in there and search and see yourself and, you know, see what's happening, see where you are, see where you need to be. It's good. I'm going to boast it. It's a very good course.
Well, you know, it's a poor rooster who won't crow over his own hen house. So we're not mad about that. I just want to know that this was where they can sign up for that course. I'm going to also put it in the chat. Let me do that so that people can.
It's clickable.
Yes.
Yeah. Go get sent to you, and then the videos.
No, I've got it.
Okay.
There we go. It's going to be in the chat.
All right.
So remember, guys, when you're looking for Coach Caren, you can find her at Profits In Daily, anywhere on the internet machine.
Yeah, that's a place. That's a place. The
and
internet machine.
Caren. Yeah, it's Caren with a C.
Yes.
It's kind of unusual. A C for Canada. Toronto, Canada. Coach, we just want to thank you. We got off to a rough start this morning, guys. We thank you for hanging in there with us. For all of you watching live and on the replay, I want you to know it's okay to make money in your business.
Yes, it is.
If you're looking for help with your tech, remember you can always contact us here at BizChicks.net. We will love to help you with your appointments. And we look forward to that. And if you'd like to become a part of the BizChicks community, simply text Biz to 33777. We want you to let us know what it is you do and how we can support you. So with that, remember tomorrow we'll be talking happy, healthy habits with Robert Nisu. Because if you don't have your health, you can't keep your
wealth. Yep.
You can't keep that wealth. Oh my gosh. And Friday we'll be talking tech with Tech Divas over here at BizChicks.net. Have a great day. Thank you again, Coach, for all that you do. And I thank God that all is well with you and yours.
Yes.
Okay, guys, we're going to run and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everyone.